What's up guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to Reviews on Anything. My name is Peter and today we are doing a belt comparison video. If you follow the channel, you know that towards the end of last year we did several comparison videos between belts from KoreEssentials and some alternatives that you can just buy over the counter. And those belts were fine in their own respects, but no match for this high quality belt from KoreEssentials. Now though, we have a worthy challenger, I think. This is the Mission belt, and this is their full banana, full grain leather, top of the line style belt. So this is 80 bucks, which is a lot more than the 60 bucks you're going to pay for this KoreEssentials belt. But they really do offer a lot of the same things in terms of the quality of the leather, but also the way the buckle and the mechanism work. So we are going to put these two side by side once again and see if this more expensive belt is actually a proper matchup for the KoreEssentials belt. Alright, we got the belts side by side with the Mission belt right here and the Kore belt on this side. Right off the bat, like I said in the beginning, you can tell that this is a much better proposition in the form of the Mission belt than the cheaper ones that we compared the Kore belts to earlier. It's much more expensive, but it feels that way. It smells better, the leather feels more supple, it just overall feels like a higher quality product. The Kore belt on this side is exactly what we've come to expect from Kore. We've done a bunch of videos on their belts. It's just super high quality right out of the box. It feels good, the buckle feels solid, the leather smells great. It is overall a very nice product just to unbox already, let alone use. Let's have a look though in where these belts are similar and where they actually differ. I'll show you here on the Mission belt. The defining feature of these two belts is that they don't have a traditional hole and buckle system, but they have a click system here, a track line as Kore calls it, where you can fine adjust your sizing. It works a bit like a zip tie, just this has a release button on the buckle that allows you to take the belt off again. It allows for precise adjustments and a perfect fit every time. So the system is similar, but the Mission belt here has a 7.5-inch track with 32 adjustment positions, and the Kore belt has a 10-inch track with 42 adjustment positions. So you get a lot more adjustability here on the Kore belt. Now both of these belts need to be sized to your exact specifications, which means that you'll cut off a bit here and you adjust the buckle to that desired length. Just use a sharp knife or a pair of scissors to cut it off and then move the buckle sort of inwards. The Kore belt though, as I'll show you here, has a sizing system here on the inside of the belt. Hopefully you can see that properly on camera. So that makes the cutting to size a bit easier, and that's something actually that the belt, the Mission belt could really use, I think, especially in this tan leather. You can also see right away that the Mission belt only has a single stitch and the Kore belt has double stitching. So that will obviously be a factor in longevity and sort of overall strength of the belt. Personally, I like the double stitch look as well. This looks a little bit cheap in my mind. Now so far these belts have been pretty similar in what they do and what they deliver. That is until though you get to the main point of interaction with your belt, which is the buckle. I showed you in earlier videos that Kore has a wide selection of buckles available. I think it's about 16 in different styles, different finishes and different looks, so there's certainly something for everybody to pick from. The Mission belt though only has one buckle style, albeit with different finishes, so this is what you are stuck with. But more importantly, the way they operate the locking and closing mechanism is slightly different. This is a spring-loaded mechanism here with the Kore belt. There's this little button here that you push to release the belt, and as you can see, it clicks back right into place as it should. Feels nice, has a good solid feel to it. It's a nice, well-made buckle. Both of these buckles, by the way, are alloy. This is a full alloy, and this is a metal buckle with an alloy undercarriage. That said though, if you get to the Mission belt, it has a magnetic closing system. As you can see, it has the same style button here that you operate to release the belt, but it sticks. And you have to push it back into place, because now your belt is just open and you have to sort of fiddle it back into place for it to close and lock. Now the issue is slightly smaller when you operate it a lot, but it is still an issue, and it is actually something that they address on their website as well as being an issue. And that's just not nice. You're paying €80 for a belt buckle combination, so you might as well have a belt and a buckle that actually work properly. And this just does not feel very confidence inspiring. It sounds a bit cheap though as well when you compare it to the Kore belt, which just sounds solid, which is much nicer when you operate the belt. The difference in buckle quality is also audible. So when I close the belt, hopefully you can hear it properly. You have this very sort of cheap, tinny sound to the buckle. And as you can see, it wiggles around a bit as well. And then you have that button that sticks. It doesn't sound very pleasant, and the operation of it doesn't feel very premium either. Switching to the Kore belt though, is a completely different story. If I plop this in here, it's a much more solid feel. It's not wiggling around at all. And the button, when you press it, it just releases and clicks back into place. It's a much more solid feel, and it's a much more confidence-inspiring operation of the buckle and of the closing mechanism that just feels a lot more premium, and it feels a lot more solid in the way you use it. Alright, so we got two very premium belts here, but one is a little bit more premium than the other. The Kore belt is definitely the more all-round better belt. It is just a nicer experience overall to use it. The leather is nice, the stitching is good, and everything just feels more solidly made than the Mission belt here. That's especially true when it comes to the buckle, which is your main point of interaction with the belt. It just feels a lot more solid to use. The mechanism feels better, more reliable, and you just overall feel better about your purchase with this product. That said though, the Mission belt is a good belt. The belt itself is very nice. The leather feels good, it's supple, it smells good, it's just overall a nice product. But the buckle is where it all goes wrong. The one buckle style is a bit boring. Would have been nice if they offered more, even though they offer different finishes and stuff. But the buckle mechanism is just not up to snuff when it comes to a premium product. You're paying 80 bucks for it, so it is not cheap, it's expensive. And for that you want something that works properly. That's not the case with the Kore belt though, especially the buckle is so much more solid and so much more thought through with the spring mechanism that it just feels so much nicer to operate. Add to that things like the double stitching, the markings inside where you can cut it, and it just starts to leap ahead of the Mission belt in pretty much every department. So even though you're spending a lot less money on this, it is certainly a better belt than this. And as an overall package, I think the Kore belt is clearly the winner again, even at this higher price point bracket. This was again a fun test to do, especially since the Mission belt is a much more worthy competitor in the end than the cheaper belts that we looked at earlier, but still the Kore belt here comes out on top. This was it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel, that always helps us out a lot, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers!